Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and I know that a lot of you in the comments section are already joking about the title that the unthinkable has happened. But to me, it really is almost unthinkable to realize the situation that we are in, that a certain class of people openly treats us like children, okay? Propagates hate and lies about the most heinous of crimes, including the trafficking of children, and we are supposed to swallow it whole. So what we're going to be discussing here is not only the alleged suicide of Jean-Luc Brunel, but his connection, of course, to the Epstein case, what the mainstream media is touting happened to Brunel, because they are saying multiple suicide attempts before this, yet never put on suicide watch. Let me repeat that. The media is reporting multiple suicide attempts before this, but not being put on suicide watch. And of course, as of now, there is no CCTV camera footage. Weird! You have the most high-profile prisoners in regards to high-level sex trafficking of children, connections to politicians, people in the tech industry, Hollywood elites, entertainers, all those things. We can't keep them alive. But we'll keep telling you we're trying. It's not the cover-up crew, right? That's not what's happening. Oh, no. Let's be real careful with this one, because we don't want to be, caught up for cyberbullying. Here's the deal, guys. We are on YouTube right now. If you are on YouTube, I need you to thumbs this video up, because if you watched the settled one, you found out how the media continued to promote Epstein and his PR machine. Okay, post what? Post the Palm Beach incident where they all knew what he was. There was no more denying it, and believe me, a lot of those people knew damn well who he was before Palm Beach anyway. Okay, we showed you the Elton John connection. Oh, we're in AIDS research. We're going to cure AIDS. All of a sudden, we're hearing a lot about that today. Isn't that weird? And the reason I put Peter Nygard in there is because we're going to show you that Nygard was so repulsive that his own children helped bring him down, and guess what he was into? Immortality. Same thing. Remember the baby ranch on Zorro Island that never got investigated? And that's why when I was on UK Talk Radio during the crescendo of the Ghislaine Maxwell case, and that coming to a close, and really, it hasn't come to a close, and she's asking for a retrial, and even her brother now is worried that she's not going to remain alive. Openly talking about it, especially after this last incident. Okay, I said on that program, and they seem to be very ignorant of this, that there were two other cases, and another case with Ghislaine Maxwell, and of course, Jean-Luc Brunel and Peter Nygard were those cases. Now, the one person that's probably sleeping easy at night, Les Wexner. People don't even realize. In January, Wexner was basically deposed, gave his testimony in a civil suit with Virginia Roberts, okay? Far less publicized than what was going on with Prince Andrew. And again, I said Prince Andrew wasn't going to do any jail time. There wasn't going to be any criminal charges brought against him. We didn't even get a civil trial. He settled. He knew. And by he, it's again, the people behind him that endorse, okay, this generational, nepotistic behavior of repugnant control and abuse of human beings, many of which are children. I think that's fair. I think everything I said there was fair sauce, okay? So before we get going through all these articles, and we're going to go hard, we're going to show you a couple videos here as well. I want you to thumbs it up, subscribe, share. Remember, we've not only been demonetized for 2+ years here on YouTube, we've been kicked off 4+ times. Not, oh, we got strikes. No, they took my channel 4+ times. And I say that because there was like this one halftime where it was there, but I couldn't get on my back end, and somehow I kept it. The bottom line is we want to stay here. We want to reach people. We want to bring people to this information. But if you want to see me uncensored, if you want to see all my stuff, I would encourage you now to make at least that free account over at the Rockfin. Also a great way to support me. You hit that subscribe button, $9.99 a month or $99.99 for the year. You endorse me, you get everybody. And if you're doing it on your phone, wait till you get to a desktop. Do not try to subscribe on your phone. It will only be a cluster flip. Okay? And by the way, if you think that you're endorsing me, go check, because every once in a while that is not the case. So please go check that as well. All my stuff is free. Right now I have my film, Shade the Motion Picture, so important if you want to understand what's going on, pinned. But all of my films are free. We now have a podcast. I got to start updating this a little more. I haven't been doing as much work, been busy this weekend. And I got my brother coming on the way. Very excited to show him Iowa. But we are going to be making a Podbean. That's going to be the way to donate. So I don't want to do GoFundMe anymore. I know that I still have that GoFundMe up, and I haven't gotten around to taking it down. I don't really promote it. What they've done with the truckers is disgusting. The censorship before that has been disgusting. We've got to go to alternative platforms that are not going to censor free voices. And that's why I got to thank Odyssey for backing up my entire YouTube channel. Like I said, they've taken it before. They'll take it again. And when they take it a final time, at least I'll have my stuff archived. We're on Getter. The films are Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and of course, Shade the Motion Picture. Let's get into it, okay? First off, we have to go to the Wayback Machine to get this piece of evidence, because they're telling you in the Telegraph that, and this is the PR department, okay, of the prison, that Jean-Luc Brunel made numerous suicide attempts before his death, yet was not on suicide watch. You get down a little bit further, and I just love this quote. It's ridiculous. Excuse me. It says this: he was found alone in the cell at La Santa prison in Paris around 1:30 a.m. on Saturday during a night roundly by prison staff, according to judicial sources. Quote, "What for sure is that he was alone at the time of death." In other words, there's no need for an investigation that anything could have possibly gone on. For sure. And that's a prison warden union representative. It's a mouthful. A prison warden union representative. In other words, that's not a person. That's a talking point. That's treating you like you are an invalidic 4-year-old taking pudding pie and shoving it in your eyeball. Like you're not even an intelligent 4-year-old. Because an intelligent 4-year-old will be like, ridiculous. Now, another thing that seems to be missing from most of the headlines, and again, we'll give the Daily Mail credit when they deserve credit, is the fact that he was very connected, not only very connected to Epstein, but quote-unquote, a model agent pimp through MC2, okay? His agency. That's why this was so important. And look, here's the deal. There is a very real possibility that Jean-Luc Brunel killed himself. And you go, whoa, Jason, what do you mean? Whoa. It says in the Twitter title, he didn't kill himself, just like Epstein. When you put somebody in a situation of torture, okay, and they are 78 years old, and I mean torture, like maybe they leave you alone with a not-so-nice inmate that may or may not enjoy sodomizing other inmates, you know? And look, the bottom line is, I'm not saying the guy didn't deserve bad treatment. We need to get to the bottom of the bigger issues behind this, the intelligence agency connections, the big tech connections, and yes, the transhumanist connections. Is the sex with children repulsive? You're damn right it is. You're damn right it is. But that's the point, right? If you can explain to people that those in the upper echelons of power are so disturbed, so repulsive and repugnant and abusive towards the very most beautiful thing in many people's lives, children, then they start to get, wait a minute, we got to change this system. We got to change this system. How is it that they don't get criminally prosecuted for any of this? Yeah, they'll burn their mid-level minions, their capos. Right, Andrew Capo Cuomo? Huh? They'll burn you a little bit of burn. And sometimes, hey, they'll take you down to Chinatown, and it's over. Okay? So listen, there's a real, and by the way, I said 70, I'm sorry, it says 76 here. Misread that. You're in a very, very real situation where someone could have just literally said, like, here's the rope, or here's the ligature. Say, I mean, come on, man. Hey, I mean, you could not do it, and guess what? I'm going to be around with Big Steve. You know, Big Steve is going to be your cellmate for the next week. Here's that. I'm just saying that's a possibility. But you would think, again, if we had a real justice system, we would have done everything we possibly could to keep those people alive. And on top of that, you wouldn't have had evidence. You know, you look at this right here, and the photograph behind me with Epstein, Brunel, and Ghislaine Maxwell, and it's the famous, you know, series of pictures where she's rubbing his feet, and I want to vomit in every sense of the word when I see that. That's along with a slew of pictures that we've gone over. People talked about the black book. I'm like, hey, how about the stack of black binders where just what's in the binders, the labeling is blacked out? What's in those binders? Hey, what about the drawers full of CDs and hard drives they took pictures of and they showed everybody, but not the contents? Hey, what about that safe that they showed they jacked right open, and yet that evidence wasn't presented to the people? I mean, they burn you, like, again, right in your face. The cover-up crew is in full effect. So what I want to show you now is Peter Nygard's sons helped, okay, his alleged sexual assault victims because it's wild. It's wild sauce. All right, let's just play some of this, okay? Bring it back to the beginning here. Thumbs it up, subscribe, and share, everybody.
He often said, I have my own island. I'm the king there.
It was hell in paradise. I wish I would have had told the girls to go home before something bad happens.
I remember every day. I remember that pain every day.
I felt ashamed. I never thought that I would see myself in a situation like that.
It was like Heart of Darkness, and things are just gonna get weirder and weirder.
He ruled with fear.
I thought if I just forgot it happened, that I would be okay.
I wonder how many people has he done this to?
I started thinking maybe I actually can do something about this, as opposed to just walking away.
There was just all of these rumblings and rumors and stories.
Rumblings, rumors, and stories. Okay. Okay.
Started to think to myself, how far is he capable of going?
The scale, the depth, the level of people that were involved, there's absolutely no comparison.
I had nightmares about this man for like years.
I was like, Mom, we need to speak up about it. Like, you need to tell your story.
It's quite a whirlwind from believing my father was this flamboyant entrepreneur to find out that he's actually a monster.
Evil like this exists in the world, and we cannot stand silent.
And that is very true. Evil does exist in the world on a scale most of us cannot fathom. Okay, so I want to make this very clear. This is actually from this week as well. His sexual assault case has been adjourned to late March. Okay? And again, I'm one of the only people out there reporting on this. I was the only one, one of the only one at the time of the Ghislaine Maxwell decision, right? Talking about these other trials and how important they were. And I'm not dissing other independent journalists. A lot of them were talking about it too. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people didn't even realize that these criminal cases were still going on. They didn't even realize that Virginia Giuffre Roberts had another lawsuit against Wexner. They didn't realize that Alan Dershowitz did his Dershowitz dance okay, his little Dershowitz dance, and basically took Les Wexner, and they've already exonerated him. You know, he deposed him. The Dershowitz dance. Remember, Dershowitz was on, I believe, the BBC right afterwards. I know Fox News had him on there. And that's the thing. All these people that want to worship Fox News and they're saving you. Hannity has him on all the time. All the time. And I believe Hannity just had Anthony Weiner on. Okay? Remember that laptop, the Weiner scandal, the Skyping, the stuff that we actually know about? Right? And that Skyping, I did extensive reporting on that. There was plenty more out there. The only reason that came to light was because of the girl talking about it. Finally, not even the evidence that was in possession of law enforcement, showing you the tier justice system, right? He's doing a radio show with Curtis Silva of the Guardian Angels, old Red Beret. That sounds fair. That's good. So I think they've, that Les Wexner has been good enough that he's really like one of their high-level gangsters, high-level players. Like, he's beyond capo. He's like an underboss, right? He'll never be royalty, but he's pretty much, he's been anointed. So he's back to his own game. Just a couple weeks ago, he's just donating, baby. Back in the political mix, Les Wexner. So I promised you that I was going to bring this around to transhumanism, and here it is. Peter Nygard boasts possibility of immortality in the Bahamas. So this is 8 years ago. And remember, baby ranches, Zorro Ranch, never, ever, 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 ever being investigated. No discussion criminally of what Virginia Giuffre Roberts brought to the table, and yet she wins all these lawsuits by default because people settle. All these connections to not only Bill Clinton, but the Clinton Initiative. Not only the CFR, but the Trilateral Commission. Oh, yeah. Bill Gates, no big deal. Bill Gates sitting there looking for his wedding ring when he's being asked about Epstein. It's not there, Bill. It's not there. And I mean, he's dead, so you got to be careful, right, Bill? You got to be careful. So here's Peter talking about immortality. Oh, please tell me this wasn't
One man, younger at heart than those half his age.
That man is Peter Nygard. And according to this video posted on YouTube, the 70-year-old fashion designer claims to have discovered the fountain of youth.
Look at my before and after pictures. I gone from anti-aging to reverse aging.
He goes on to explain the science behind those claims.
I've been on stem cell therapy now 4 times a year for the past 3 years.
Stem cells can be turned into just about any kind of cell, which means potentially they could be used to repair damage caused by disease. But in Canada, it's illegal to clone them.
Nygard moved from Winnipeg to the Bahamas several years ago. He launched a biotech company in 2009, hired 4 scientists specializing in stem cell technology, and lobbied the Bahamian government to create legislation to further his research. He now says his doctors have made a scientific breakthrough, successfully changing his skin cells into embryonic stem cells, essentially turning back his biological clock.
This is huge. This is a game changer. This could eliminate all disease. This perhaps is immortality.
So let's just stop it right there. First of all, look how they're portraying him. Okay, and again, this is back when, he's a studly guy, right? Oh, he's got it all. He's a hero. And here's the thing. Technology, again, is benign. It can be used to empower humanity, or it can be used to enslave them. What you're getting a window into is somebody putting out there the resources that are publicly available, and then high-level doctors working on that publicly available information to use embryonic stem cells, okay, to do what he's saying. This is real. I've talked about de-aging for a very long time. It's been around for a very long time. Stem cells, the controversy, right, the bootleg controversy, by the way, and again, it's that red herring. They always made it about abortion. But then later on, you found out that it didn't have to be aborted fetal cell tissue that you created stem cells from. Okay, there were other ways to harness this technology, but they wanted to demonize it amongst a large sector of the populace so we could, publicly say that we can't use it for ethical reasons because these people care about ethics so much, right? But in reality, It's so that what? These tools are not used to empower the masses, but only those at a certain level of sociopathy within this predator class.
But this University of Manitoba ethics professor who's been studying stem cell research since scientists cloned Dolly the sheep in the late 1990s says Nygard's claims are unfounded.
There is no magic stem cell cocktail that you can drink or inject into your arm that will make you younger or healthier or that will help you to live longer.
So let's just stop. And again, this is that skeptic view that they put out, and I understand it, but that's not true. This guy's not. Again, it's this is there to ease you. It's like, oh, he says this, but not really. He says this, but not really. Yeah, okay. Remember, but at the same time now, we got a zombie poopy pants president, Zombie J, telling you that DARPA is going to end cancer. All right, yeah, okay.
Arthur Schaefer says while the technology isn't there yet, there's still an ongoing debate as the science could also be used to enhance physical and mental traits in only the people who could afford it.
The use of stem cell technology to create supermen and Wonder Women has many people feeling very uneasy.
But Schaefer admits, if nothing else, Nygard's video will further the debate on the issue until science catches up.
Science catches up. Come on.
I want to live forever or die trying.
There it is right there. I want to live forever or die trying. And that's the mentality of a lot of these people. They want to be their own gods. They want to be the gods over you. And they treat you, again, like less than children when things like this happen. Guys, we're going to keep it short and sweet. If you're new to the program, thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. Remember to Rockfin, RockFin.com/Jason Burmis. At least follow me there. At least make that free account. Share the information. That's what's important. Go to these articles, read them yourselves, share the source videos. You don't have to have my loud mouth in it. That's fine. And remember, there is no money in YouTube. If you want to support me, come make the premium account over at Rockfin. Make sure that you're endorsing Jason Burmis. I love you guys. It is not about left or right. It is always about right and wrong. And it is the right thing to do to expose the intelligence networks that worked with this, whether it be the Mossad, the FBI, the CIA, okay? All of which have been named, okay? The inner rings of this, Maxwell family, right? Another death by hanging in the security prison. Ghislaine Maxwell's horrified brother shares fears for her safety after Jeffrey Epstein's model agent pimp was found dead in Paris. And rightly so. And rightly so. So let's all do the right thing. Get behind one another. Remember, this isn't a conservative issue or a liberal issue or a Republican issue or a Democrat issue. It's none of those issues. It's not a QAnon sense message board issue. It's the real deal. Okay? So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the flip side.